Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to go over how to make a graph in Matlab using formal engineering conventions. So, as you can see, I have my editor here and a new code open. So, the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to add your data. Since I don't have any data, I'm going to add some sample data here. So for my x, I'm going to use x equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And for my y, I'm going to use y equals 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Now, it's important when you're going to plot anything in Matlab that your plot arrays have the same length. So your x data has to have the same length as your y data. But that's true for any programming language. So let's continue. The next step is going to be to use MATLAB's built-in figure and plot functions. So the figure function is called by typing figure, and then you can put a figure number in. In this case, it's just figure 1. But if you were to have multiple plots, it's a good idea to specify the figure number here so MATLAB knows what plot needs to be in what pop-up window. The next function that we're going to add is the plot function. So the plot function you call by simply writing out plot. And then inside you're going to put your x data first, so your x-axis, and then your y data. And then you're going to put your formatting options. For a simple line graph, you're going to add a dash like this. If you want it to be a dotted line, you can add 2 dashes like this. And if you want it to be, say, stars, you can add a star character like this. Or you can also change the color. R it would be red, G would be green, B would be blue, and there are many other colors you can choose. In this case, I'm going to go red, and I'm going to do a singular line. Now let's run it and see what this plot looks like. So we're going to call this graphing tutorial. And as you can now see, this is the figure that is generated. So here we have our x-axis, which goes from 1 to 6, and our y-axis, which goes from 2 to 12. And this is our data. Now, let's say you wanted to add points for each data point. There are a few ways to do this, but if you want every point to show up, you can call plot again after adding a hold on. And then I'm going to change the color here to blue. You can then add an O after the blue B character. And this is going to add hollow points at every data point along the same line that we originally plotted. To show you, I'm going to rerun it. And now you can see we have the points marked along the plot. Now, as you can see, this plot doesn't have any titles or labels. So let's add those now. For the title, you just type title, and then you put quotes inside the parentheses. And we're going to title this Graphing Tutorial. Now for our axis, we are going to use X label and Y label. These will generate the axis labels for each axis. We're going to put quotes the same way we did for our title. And in this case, we are going to say x-axis, and I'm going to put parentheses units, because usually you'll have units, but in this case, because it's a tutorial, we don't. And I'm going to do the same thing for the Y label, but I'm going to change the X to a Y. And now, if we rerun this, we have labels, and we have a title. Now, the last thing that you're going to need for a formal engineering plot is a legend. Now, in this case, a legend isn't really necessary because you only have one set of data, but it can be. So we're going to go legend. And as you can see here, we have the option to add multiple labels. Since we did plot technically two different sets of data, I'm going to add two labels. The first one for our line is going to be fit, or line of best fit. And then the second label is going to be the actual data points. And now, if we save it, the legend pops up. You can see the line of best fit, and the actual data points now shows up on the graph. Now, by default, legends are going to go in the top left, but you can specify where you want them by adding in options. In this case, I want my legend in the top left, so I'm going to leave it. But maybe in a future video, we will show more of what you can do with the legend command and show the different locations you can choose. So let's take one final look at the graph, the complete graph here. And that's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.